Fundamentals of Chinese 3, Unit 13, Seeing a Doctor. My stomach is killing me. Understand it. Turn to pages 134, 136 in your textbook. Have a pen or pencil ready to take notes as we go along. Okay, so this character here, Bing. Bing means ill or sick. And it's used together with the character ren for person to mean patient. 病人. So literally, 病人 means sick person, ill person. And probably the best translation for that in English is a patient. So we have this 病人去医院看病. Let's move on. Alright, next we have 医院. The character E is used, it means medicine. And yuan here is a character that literally means like a courtyard or something. But in this case, together with the word for medicine, it means hospital. 医院. 病人去医院看病. Or 看病. It's fourth tone. So this last piece here, 看病. So, you know, bing from over bing over here means sick or ill. So, 看病. You remember, 看 means to look at or to watch. So, look at an illness. These two characters literally together mean look at illness. And the Chinese used this word here to basically mean to go see a doctor. So if someone says 我去看病, 我去看病, it basically means I'm going to see a doctor. So 病人去医院看病. So what does this mean? Pause and write down what you think. Patients go to the hospital to see a doctor. Pretty straightforward. Alright, next we have 医生我肚子疼死了. Okay, so this is Gao Wenzhong, and he is talking to a doctor in the hospital. And so he says 医生我肚子疼死了. Okay, so 肚子 means stomach. And you'll notice as you continue to study Chinese, you will notice that a lot of the characters that represent parts of the body, for example, 肚, use this radical here, which is the moon, 月. So many parts of the body include this 月 radical. And you'll notice also that 肚, this piece next to it is actually, if you isolate it out of itself, it means the ground, and it's pronounced 土, tu. The pinyin for it is tu. 土 meaning dirt. But you'll notice that this is here to help with the pronunciation. So the actual pronunciation is 肚, du, but they put this here to assist in the pronunciation. And many Chinese characters include a part of the character will give a clue to how it's pronounced. So this is 肚子, and it means stomach. So Gao Wenzhong, you saw the video already. Gao Wenzhong says to the doctor, 医生我肚子疼死了. So you should be able to figure out what 疼死了 means. Okay, 疼死. Let's break this out because this is a little like an idiom almost, or not an idiom, but it's colloquial speech. 疼 is the word to mean painful. 疼. Okay, that's this character here, 疼. And 死 just means to die. Okay, but the Chinese do the same thing we do with their word for death, 死, death or dying. So, like when we say I'm sick to death of something, or I'm tired to death, we have this expression where we use death to mean extremely. I'm hungry to death. I'm tired to death, right? Well, the Chinese use their word 死 to do the same thing, to mean extremely. So they put it after a adjective to note that that adjective is extreme. Okay. So we have 疼死, painful to death, or really painful. So what does this mean here? 医生，我肚子疼死了. Pause and write down what you think it means. Okay. Doctor, my stomach hurts really bad. Okay, so then the doctor asks, 你昨天吃什么东西了? 你昨天吃什么东西了? So you really shouldn't have much trouble with this. Why don't you pause and write down what you think it means. "你昨天吃什么东西了? Okay, what did you eat yesterday? So, Gao Wenzhong comes back, and he says a mouthful. He says, 我姐姐上个星期过生日，蛋糕没吃完。昨天晚上我吃了几口，夜里肚子就疼起来了。今天早上上了好几次厕所。" Okay. So he explains what happened, and you really shouldn't have that much trouble from here to here. So this 我姐姐上个星期过生日，蛋糕没有吃完，昨天晚上我吃了几口。Right? This piece here you shouldn't have any trouble with. Here, 夜里, okay, 夜 means in the evening. Ye is a word that means at evening. And li just means inside something. 我在家里, I'm in my house. 我在汽车里, I'm in my car. 我在学校里, I'm in the school. Okay, so li just means in. So ye li just means in the nighttime. But of course, we say in the evening, but we say at night. So ye li could be in the evening usually means in English usually means early evening. At night could mean in the middle of the night. So in the middle of the night. So he explains what he gives some background here, and then he says 夜里肚子就疼起来了，疼起来了。Okay. All right, before we jump down to 厕所, this 疼起来. So 疼 means painful, right? And 起来 can mean to start. So 疼起来 means my stomach started to hurt. 肚子疼起来了, my stomach began to hurt, or my stomach started to hurt. So 今天早上上了好几次厕所. So real quick, 好几 means 次 means times, right? 几次. So this 好几 means many times. Many times. You remember 几次, like if we just say 几次, it's like a question. How many times? How many times did you do that? So just isolate out this 好几. 好 before 几 just means many, a lot. So 好几次上了好几次厕所. Okay? So 厕所 means bathroom. Bathroom. 厕所 bathroom. And 上厕所 means go to the bathroom. 上厕所 go to the bathroom. So 上了好几次厕所. Okay? So this many times you have the verb 上 and then the noun 厕所上厕所 go to the bathroom. Okay? But then you put this in the middle 好几次. It means went to the bathroom many times. So 今天早上上了好几次厕所. Okay, so what does this sentence mean? Write down pause the video and write down what you think it means, and then we'll take a close look at some of this. Okay, so you likely came up with something very close to my older sister had her birthday party last week. There was leftover cake, and I ate some last night. At night, my stomach started to hurt. I have gone to the bathroom, or I went to the bathroom a few times, or many times this morning. So, 我姐姐上个星期过生日. That's pretty simple. My sister had a birthday last week. 蛋糕没吃完. We didn't finish eating the cake. 昨天晚上我吃了几口. I had a few bites. 口 here means a bite of something. Ko literally means mouth, but if you look it up in the dictionary, it also means like a bite. So 好几口 or 我吃了几口. I had a few bites. I ate some. I had a few bites last night. 夜里肚子就疼起来了. In the evening, my stomach began to hurt. 肚子就疼起来了. Okay, 今天早上. So today in the morning, or this morning, 今天早上. So this is one piece right here. 今天早上, this morning. 上了, went to. In this case, 上了means went to. Went to what? Went to the bathroom. 上了厕所. Did I go to the bathroom once? No, I went to the bathroom 好几次, many times. 今天早上上了好几次厕所. Okay, next the doctor asks, 你把蛋糕放在哪儿了? Okay, so you have most of what you need to figure out what this means. What may throw you off is this 把 right here. So what you can do is just ignore this 把 for a minute and do your best to figure out what this sentence means. This 把 is one of the grammar points, and so we will go over it in more detail. But for now, pause and write down what you think this sentence means. I'm sure you came up with something very close to where did you keep the cake. Okay, what's happening here is 你把蛋糕放在哪儿? So you cake put where? So where did you put the cake? Or where did you keep the cake? Is basically what's being asked. This 把 is an interesting piece of grammar that I will put off for now until the grammar video. Okay, next, Gao Wenzhong says, 放在冰箱里了. 放在冰箱里了. Okay, so 冰箱 is fridge or refrigerator. And 冰 means ice, and 箱 means box. So icebox, 冰箱. So you should be able to figure this out. Pause and write down what you think this means. I kept it in the fridge. Pretty straightforward. Then the doctor asks a clarifying question. She says, 放了几天了?放了几天了? So this should be pretty easy to figure out. Please pause and write down what you think it means. How many days did you keep it in the fridge? Okay, so 放 is the verb here to mean put or to keep. So he put it or kept it in the refrigerator. So we have the context, so she doesn't repeat refrigerator. She just says 放了几天了. The meaning is you put it there, right, for how many days? Okay, 五六天了. 五六天了. Pretty straightforward. Pause and write down what you think it means. 5 or 6 days. Okay, and now she comes back, the doctor, and asks another question about Gao Wenzhong's health. She asks, 发烧吗?发烧吗? Okay, 发烧 is to have a fever. Now in English, fever is a noun, and it's used together with this verb. So if you have a fever in English, the only way you can really express it is with the help of this verb to have. A fever is something that you have. Okay. In Chinese, it's not something that you have. In fact, it's a verb. It's a verb itself, so there's no need to have another verb with it. So 发烧吗 means do you have a fever? So you pretty much know what this means now. Do you have a fever? 不发烧. 不发烧. Pretty straightforward. I don't have a fever. Okay, the doctor then asks Gao Wenzhong to 躺下. 躺下. 你躺下. 先检查一下. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. She asks him to lie down. 你躺下. 躺 is a verb, and it means laying down. So if you're currently laying down, then, like for example, what are you doing right now? I am laying down. You've already laid down and you've been laying down for some time. So that's 躺. But if you're sitting up and someone wants you to lay down, then they add 下. 下 means down. So 躺下, lie down. 检查, 检查, 先检查一下. Okay, so you remember 一下. They add that to the end of verbs to make speech more polite and close. 先检查一下. Or rather, to make the command. She's commanding him, or she's saying that she's going to do something. And 一下makes it sound lighter. So you should know what this means. Lie down. First, I'm going to examine you. Okay. 你吃蛋糕把肚子吃坏了. Okay. So here you see this ba again, and we'll cover that in the grammar point. But even without being able to really clarify or understanding what this ba does, you should be able to figure out the sentence. So 你吃蛋糕 把肚子吃坏了. So divide this into two parts. 你吃蛋糕, there's the first part. 肚子吃坏了. So 坏 means bad. 坏 very simply just means bad. But you can use 坏 together with a verb to mean that you did the action of that verb to the point where you broke something. Okay? So in this case, you have the stomach, the 肚子, and you ate something, and you ate something all the way up into the point where you broke it. So what's being broken here? So pause and write down what you think this sentence means. 你吃蛋糕把肚子吃坏了. You upset your stomach by eating cake. You may not have translated it exactly this way, but this is one way of translating it. You upset your stomach by eating cake. Okay, Gao Wenzhong asks a question. 要不要打针?要不要打针? Alright, 打针 means to get a shot, to get an injection, an inoculation. So this is pretty straightforward. Will you give me a shot? She answers, 不用打针. 吃这种药就可以一天3次1次2片. Okay, so first here we have 药. 药 is the word for medicine. So 不用打针,吃这种药,吃这种药. Now, in English, we take medicine. Okay, verbs and nouns work together differently in different languages. So in English, we take medication. But in Chinese, you don't take medication through your mouth. Okay, you can take medication from the cupboard in Chinese, 拿药. Right? 拿, you remember, is take. So if you said 拿药, it would be take the medication. Literally, into English, you'd be saying take the medication. But 拿药 would mean to take it with your hand, meaning pick up the bottle, take it from the cupboard, pick it up off the table. It does not mean to put it in your mouth. In Chinese, the verb that they use for taking medication is eat, 吃, 吃药. So be very careful. If you use the word take in Chinese, 拿, and you say 拿药, it does not mean eat it. And the listener is going to think that you're saying take it with your hand from the table, from the medicine cabinet, from the counter at the pharmacy, etc. Okay? So make sure you keep that clear. 吃这种药就可以. Okay? 一天3次, 1次2片. Okay, so 片 is a pill. And so now you have what you need for this sentence. But before we try and figure out what this means in English, you need to look at this word order, or this construction here. Okay, in English, we say to take a certain kind of medication 3 times a day. 3 times a day. In Chinese, it's completely opposite. It's a day 3 times. 一天3次. Okay? All right. Take this medication 3 times a day. 吃一天3次. Okay? 一次2片. So in English, you'd say each time you take this medication, take 2 pills. Okay? In Chinese, it's similar in that sense. Each time, 2 pills. 一次2片. So pause and write down what you think this means. So 不用打针, there was no need for a shot. 吃这种药就可以. taking this medicine should do it. Take it 3 times a day, 一天3次. Each time, take 2 pills. 一次2片. All right, next we have Gao Wenzhong asking 医生一天吃几次? 请您再说一遍. So Gao Wenzhong didn't hear so clearly. So he asked a clarifying question. 医生一天吃几次? 请您再说一遍. All right, pause and write down what you think that means. Doctor, how many times a day do I take it? Please repeat. And she repeats 一天3次, 一次2片. So this is just a repeat. 3 times a day, each time take 2 pills. 好，饭前吃还是饭后吃？好，饭前吃还是饭后吃？ Okay, so you know all this vocabulary here, but it's used in a way that you're unfamiliar with. But I bet you can figure it out. So pause and take a look at this sentence and write down what you think it means. Okay, should I take it before or after meals? Okay, so 饭 is, you know, means food. 吃饭 is to eat dinner. 吃午饭 eat dinner. Eat lunch. 吃晚饭 eat dinner. 吃早饭 eat breakfast. So 饭 is a meal basically. So 饭前 before a meal. 吃还是饭后 after a meal? 吃. So should I take it before or after meals? And the doctor responds saying 饭前饭后都可以，不过你最好24小时不吃饭。Okay, so 小时 it means hour. 小时 is the word for hour. Okay, so you have what you need to know here to figure this out. So 饭前饭后都可以，不过你最好24个小时不吃饭. All right, pause and write down what you think this means. So before and after meals are both okay. 饭前饭后都可以。不过, however, 你最好 you'd better 24个小时不吃饭. Don't eat anything for 24 hours. Okay? Again, notice the word order here. It's swapped when compared with English. Don't eat anything for 24 hours. This 24 hours appears at the end of the sentence. However, in Chinese, it's you'd better 24 hours not eat anything. Gao Wenzhong says, 那我要饿死了。不行，这个办法不好。Okay, 办法 means method or way. Method or way. Okay, so 那我要饿死了. So you know what it means when you add this word for death or dying after an adjective, right? 那我要饿死了。不行，这个办法不好. Right? Pause and write down what you think this means. And you, no doubt, came up with something very close to this. I'll be hungry to death, or I'll starve to death. 那我要饿死了. Right? That's no good. 不行，这个办法不好. This is a terrible or horrible or bad method. And that concludes this Understand It video.